He'll start the return inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. Off-play action on first down. Now improvising. And with not much doing downfield, he found his parents open in the stands and threw it to them. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit about Oklahoma. Really interesting matchup here. It's always fun when the top two teams in the conference get to square off in the regular season. With all the expansion, it's become a little bit of a rarity, hasn't it?
It has. Obviously, there's so many teams in each conference, but head-to-head still very much matters. So if you're sitting, obviously, at the top like these teams are, the head-to-head this day will really matter down the road.
Yeah, this was a game we circled way back in the preseason, expecting these two teams to be as good as they are, and now we get to find out who's the best in conference. Both these teams relishing this opportunity to show not only their opponent, but the rest of the conference who the top dog is.
Guys, Oklahoma's transition to the SEC in 2024 taught them a lesson that you might be able to get by at times without offensive consistency, but you won't thrive. So what kind of pressure, David, is the new guy under center under?
A lot of pressure, but obviously the experience, the transfer over. He was the top guy at that spot in the transfer portal. You bring in a new offensive coordinator, new weapons around him, so a revamped new Oklahoma offense. They're hoping they will match their defense, and those wins will go up and up and up.
They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. He has the first and still on his feet. And he's brought down after a nice game.
I'll tell you what, you want to quiet this crowd down. You want to do something demoralizing to your opponent. Establish the run game early on offense.
The Sooners will snap it on 1st and 10. To the air, it's Mateer. Looking to the big tight end. Finds a man in the middle. And they got the defense on that one, and they get it to the 29-yard line. Last couple of plays, the offense seems to be just one step ahead, David.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to do something to disrupt the timing, the rhythm. I got to do something that they're not expecting because right now they got the run and they got the pass working. So this defense, they have to find something new to kind of confuse this offense.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
Man, I don't know if you want that guy outside the pocket very often because he's so fast and he can do some damage, but they did a nice job containing him. Once he left the pocket, they were ready for it, came to him, he tried to throw the football. Nice hit on the quarterback as he's throwing to force a bad pass.
Fires to the wideout. Complete downfield. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
And I love the awareness by the wide receiver on that play because I'm not sure that route was supposed to be that deep. You got to wonder if the receiver decided maybe to adjust the route a little bit to make sure that he got the first down.
And the Sooners had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive. Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. The give to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? Part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. Quick pass to the left, trying to get it to the marker. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Sooners!
How about that first drive by the offense? Usually script the first 10 plays. Well, I had one extra. It only took 9. Great job moving down the field, stringing plays that look like other plays together, and getting this opening drive touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. He'll call for the fair catch here. Quarterback making adjustments. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. They'll go to the toss. Running hard and getting 6 yards out to the 26.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
Dropping back, it's Shapen. Unleashes one. Picked off. What a play to set him up. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his second of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
Let's send the tight end in motion. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. The Sooners headed quickly to the line.
And they got to protect their quarterback better up front. They got to give him a little bit more time to make some damage down the field. But look at this. Here they go. No huddle, back on the line, make the defense communicate. Maybe you can catch them sleeping.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. The sure hands, it's Sategna. He did not make it a stone wall on 3rd down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
You must protect the kicker when he's in a defenseless position like that. That penalty's going to give the offense a 1st down. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. Hands it off. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front.
Yeah, and this man, you got to do a better job blocking. And I tell you what, that's kind of been a theme throughout the season. They haven't been high-powered. They haven't really figured out who they are yet. And they still got time. The season's not over yet, but this offense still in identity mode.
Throws to the wideout. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds.
Nice job by the defense there, taking all throws away from the quarterback. He had nowhere to put that football in the field to play, so that ball obviously had to go out of bounds.
If you didn't have a headache before, you've got one on the way. The cowbell's ringing on this 3rd down in Starkville. Looking for a man. It's Mateer. That pass is well off target. He got hit as he was trying to throw, and they can't convert on 3rd down.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
Now on 4th down, here comes the field goal team. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Fellas, rivalry game in the SEC. Of course, that's almost redundant in that league. But check this out. Georgia looked dominant on the way to victory today. That offense had zero problem putting up points, and the defense almost resembled the days of Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and Nakobe Dean. Going to be very interesting to see what the fallout from this one is, because as we know, you can't lose games in the SEC like this without some blowback.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Rides the back and leaves it. Powers through the defender. Gets it across the 30 to the 31, a pickup of 5.
I know that wasn't a huge, sexy gain. I know not everybody's jumping up and down, but what it does do is put you in a great position to succeed on 2nd down. 2nd and 10, really hard. 3rd and 10, really hard. Now you're in a manageable situation. It really gives you the whole playbook.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Got it in the middle, it's Traore. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down.
And that's a great job executing the drag route. You just bring the big fella across the formation, wait for him to come open. The quarterback does a good job seeing him, finds him in the hole, hits him. Perfect job.
From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Shapen. Unloads to the wideout. Got his man downfield. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Wants to throw on 1st down. Got the quick pass. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Takes it from the gun on third down. Quick completion on the out route. Doesn't quite make it to the first down marker. He's a yard short. A 51-yard field goal is not really unreasonable in terms of range, but they'll try to convert on fourth down. Trying to keep the drive alive. He's not going to get there. Stop short on fourth down.
And how about the defense coming up big on fourth and short? You know they're going to run the football. Great job stacking the box, getting the big stop.
They'll snap it from the 37 for the first play of this drive. The give to the tailback. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the air. It's Batir. Oh, they're after him. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions from go to 1 to 2 and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target. You can tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
Fires to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. That'll be enough for the first down, and they'll mark it at the 48. The Sooners come to the line with a new set of downs. To the air on first down. Throws to the wideout. Right on the money to the outside. He dragged the toe, and how about the ball placement? Only the receiver could get it.
Really nice job threading the needle on that pass. They've had a lot of dudes that were able to do that in Norman, Oklahoma. Josh Heupel, Jason White, Sam Bradford, Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. The names go on and on and on. Hurting you in the passing game with their vision, with their act.
Oh, a lot of space. Big pickup on the ground here to keep this drive moving and give them a first down.
If you want to test the physicality of a defense, get the toss play going. Get the outside run game working because those DBs are going to have to find ways to fight off blocks, and you're going to find out just how badly these little guys want to put their face in the fang.
Lots of running room. Got some room headed to the goal line. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Oklahoma. No midseason doldrums for these guys as they push out the lead in week 6.
You know, this guy's had a big role in this offense this year, especially when they get down close to the end zone. That's his 5th rushing touchdown on the year. He's been a factor for these guys offensively.
Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. He makes the fair catch deep in his own end, and I get the criticism, but man, he probably wanted to at least save a few yards in field position. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Out of the gun to give to the back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
After not getting a thing done on first down, it's 2nd and long from the 24. To the air, it's Shapen. Throws to the tight end. The ball pops out. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
That looks like a really easy thing to do.
ball's just on the ground. Jump on it. That's an odd-shaped ball that bounces all kind of crazy ways. Great job by the defense covering that thing up.
Here come the Sooners ready to go on offense. Basically everything they've tried has worked, scoring a couple of touchdowns and a field goal on their first 3 possessions. Gives it on the option. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground. Take away that run game. Make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They go to the ground. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And I think a lot of times when offenses run these counters, you're going to fake one way, right? Pull guys the other direction. If you can get some penetration really quickly, get behind those pullers, you got a chance to get in the backfield, just like right there, and create a TFL.
On 3rd down, going up top. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Great job by the defense dialing up some pressure on 3rd down. They hit the quarterback and forced the incompletion.
On 4th and 11, they decide to go for it. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Gonna take a shot. Grabs it inside the 10.
This guy's gotten off to a good statistical start, guys, but that last completion, he's already now over 1,000 passing yards on the season, and man, you know he's looking for more.
And the Sooners line it up with a 1st and goal. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
You want to stop the run game, get the big defensive tackles in the middle, getting penetration. Those big boys eating up blocks, taking away gaps and holes for those running backs to run through.
Using his power and his sweet feet to get into the backfield quickly.
And you know you're athletic when you're described with power and sweet feet. I mean, just put those 2 things together and you're just pretty amazing.
Right there to stop him, and that'll be a loss of 3. They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of settling for 3, but it is 3rd and goal. They'll send the back in motion. We're at the 2-minute timeout. They've built a big lead, and they'll try to pile on a little more before the break. This defense was put in a difficult spot, but they've made it tough, and now the offense faces 3rd and goal. Back swinging for the goal line. And he motors into the end zone. Touchdown Sooners!
And this offense right now, they're doing some damage through the air. That's now their 2nd passing touchdown. They thought coming into this game they were going to have some matchups on the perimeter of the field that they could take advantage of, and they've done that so far here today.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, it's a final now in one of the more intriguing games of the week, that notable ACC clash. Arkansas was anything but dominant today, but the Hogs are going to leave Razorback Stadium winners. A lot to work on, no question, but they avoid one in the Elcon. One team will rise in the ACC standings, while the other is going to sink like a stone. The harsh reality of college football when conference foes face off, fellas.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. His drive will open from the 15. open up that playbook even more as they pick up the first down out to the 30. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. Taylor wants to throw. Got his man in the middle. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
And he dropped it. It looked for all the world like that would be a catch, and he just got too excited.
And those are frustrating. Like, those drops really annoy you because those running backs are always asking to be more a part of the game plan. Get the ball more, touch it more. An awesome opportunity in the pass game to make a play, ball right in his hands, and that is a missed opportunity.
Looking to throw again. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. And he never had a chance. As soon as he caught it, the defense was right there.
Well, they try to spit it out to the running back on the perimeter of the field. You saw the speed and recognition by the defense, though, how quickly they were able to get to the back and get him down for a big loss.
They were unfazed by that earlier 4th down failure and will try for a second time in this one. He's got it. First down and more. They've got it to the 49-yard line, and they'll move the chains. Quick timeout call by the offense after the play. No hesitation, no trying to baby the ball in there. He just fired it complete.
4th down, no problem. I'm just going to rip this to my wide receiver. He believed in himself. He knew he could get it, and they get the 4th down conversion.
Mississippi State going up tempo. Caught in the backfield, it's Williams. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, I just don't like throwing wide receiver screens against press man coverage. Receivers are not great blockers, and they just couldn't get it done there, and as a result, the offense actually loses a couple of yards.
Taylor wants to throw it. Makes the grab. Putting together a real scoring threat here as they pick up the first down at the 36. Mississippi State to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Williams. Makes the grab, defense right there, and they are set up at the 14. They have been stagnant on offense, but finally a little forward movement as they've got a 1st and 10. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Catch in the middle, it's Mosley. Now the connection takes it to the 11. Just enough time to get off one more snap. Looking downfield very late in the half. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Quick strike through the air for the score.
Man, what a great way to end the first half. It wasn't a perfect first half. A lot of mistakes, still trailing by a lot. But here's the deal. Now you put yourself in a position, go make some things happen. Force some turnovers, play good in the second half. Who knows what will happen?
And after the extra point, they're now down 24-7. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Sooners will kick it away to start the second half. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground to start the second half. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
I got to be honest, I am shocked at just how well the defense has played in this game, especially stopping the run. We talked about statistically how they've struggled this season, but they have put the clamps down in this one, and they're just playing with a ton of intensity.
The sure hands, it's Booth. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first.
Well, it's important in this game this offense gets the running back involved out on the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
He gets it out to the 28-yard line, not enough to pick up the first down.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Makes a grab past the marker. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
Taylor wants to throw. Fires on the move. Receiver wasn't ready for the throw. Incomplete.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations.
Oh, he's got some space. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Might be changing the route. Gonna look downfield again. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, it's picked off. That's not the start they hoped for.
It's so nice to see defenders squeeze that pigskin. A lot of times, in great position, you see him there to make the play, but there's a reason they play defense. Not this time. Great job securing the interception.
This drive will get started from the 37-yard line. Gonna run it. It's up. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Well, that guy is so quick coming out of his stance. Did you see how fast he got to the ball carrier to get that tackle for loss? Wow.
Motion from the wide receiver. Grab behind the line. It's Sategna. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
So difficult because my eyes tell me he's a defensive guy. He's handing it off. The offensive line's block and run. I got to go get it. Quarterback pulls it, throws it to the right. It's kind of like that hidden hat game. Like, where's the ball? I'm always trying to find that daggone thing.
Dropping back, it's Mateer. Throws for the tight end. He's got it. Turning it on. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And the beatdown has ensued.
And this offense picks up right where it left off. Scoring points, creating a big play. First drive of the second half, no problem. Don't worry about halftime adjustments. Just keep doing what you've been doing.
And the extra point splits the uprights. And he makes the fair catch deep in his own territory. He might have a question or two to answer about that decision. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Looking downfield on first down. Got it in the middle. It's Mosley. Stopped him at the 41, but that's a big pickup of 15.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down.
Well, you can see the mindset of this offense changing quickly. We're in the late in the third quarter. They're down on the scoreboard. They've got to get aggressive, and they've got to throw the ball if they want a chance to win this game. But the defense knows it. It's going to be really hard for this quarterback now. The windows are going to be small like it was that time throwing the incompletion.
He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. You know, David, this is really what game managing is. Nice pickup on second down to help them on the next play.
Yeah, and I think people look at that negative sometimes, finding a quarterback that's a game manager. No, use your brain. Set up good situations. I'm way more successful when I can keep those sticks at a more manageable situation, and I'm not as predictable on a third down.
Trailing by multiple possessions in the third and desperately needing a score, they'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Caught over the middle. It's Thompson. That'll be enough to give Mississippi State a fresh set of downs. They were willing to spin that wheel of fortune in their own territory, and it paid off.
And it came up good. I mean, I think you see the aggressiveness by these offenses now, willing to go for it on their own territory, and I like it because they got it.
Taylor wants to throw it. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And the defense at this point understands that the offense is going to have to try to throw the football, all right? They already got a lead, so they're now pinning their ears back and getting after this guy, trying to get him to the ground.
Second down, he'll throw it. Fires to the wideout. It's incomplete, and it also might be what is called a learning experience and one this freshman got away with. Third down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention it's picked off, and another empty drive. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it now at the 45.
And talk about being an impact player for his defense. That's now his second interception in this game. Time and time again, when they've thrown his direction, he's come up with a big play. And in a tight game like this, those two interceptions, that is massive for this defense.
To the ground with the back. And a nice run there before the defense finally makes the stop.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
Looking for room. It's up. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. The Sooners come to the line trying to find a way to convert on third and very short. They'll try to get the first through the air. He wants to go deep. Intercepted to stop the threat. He'll try to take it back. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but the great return to give the offense tremendous field position.
Man, what great discipline by this defense. They didn't sit on routes short. They take a shot down the field on third and short. Questionable shot probably. Nice job being disciplined and getting the interception.
Yeah, and just because you have the shot play called on third down like that as a quarterback, that doesn't give you the freedom to
just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
How nice is it as a defense when you can drop 7 guys in a coverage, only rush 4, and still get home? That makes you feel good if you're the D coordinator.
The Bulldogs with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Bringing the heat. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
There's nothing better than being a defensive lineman and a defense period that pressure the quarterback, that gets hits on him, that make him feel uncomfortable, especially when you come into their building and you get everybody really, really quiet. That's a...
It's a seam wide open. There he goes. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
And that's how you flip the field really quickly. Go from being on your side of the field, creating the explosive play, getting some momentum for this offense, and getting towards scoring position.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Well, like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
They're dealing with a second and long. Taylor wants to throw. Gets it out quickly. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting them the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. He's got it. And he was straining for the goal line, but the defense stopped him short.
You saw the tight end on a big play there in that last third down. Why not go back to him again here in the red zone? With his size and his athleticism, he is a matchup nightmare down in this area of the field.
Looks as if he's going to run it. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Mississippi State.
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in the running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On designed runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
And with the extra point, they're down 31-14. A 69-yard touchdown drive, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. That deficit's still pretty big, and they'll try to get it right back and cut into it with an onside kick. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. Early movement on the offense will push them back a bit. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. We'll see if they have enough time to get another snap before the clock hits 0. Give to the running back. They knock him down behind the line, and the defense finishing this third quarter in style.
Oklahoma 31, Mississippi State 14.
They had a chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down. On the run, it's Ott. Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. And the running game has collapsed so far on this drive, and now it's third down. Scanning the field, it's Mateer. Safe completion on the screen. Bounced out of bounds at the 43-yard line. So he was forced to just take what the defense gave him, and they were able to stop him short of the first down.
And when you're a defense and you get third and long and you know exactly where those sticks are, you set your feet at them, they throw it underneath, I go rally, make the tackle, perfect third down and long execution.
Converts on fourth down, still going. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
Defense just hasn't had an answer for this guy. He has been on point. This is about as good as I've seen him play at the quarterback position. And here in the fourth quarter with a big lead, he's still taking shots.
And the Sooners have it with a 1st and 10. They'll run the counter. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Utah sweep to the right. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. The Sooners come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Gets the back moving. Snap from the gun on 3rd down. The quick out. Touchdown Sooners! And a stomping has commenced. That one ought to give them firm control of this game, and they have gotten things going here, about to move to 4-1. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A lot of eyeballs on your game, guys, and a few on this interesting matchup as well. Coastal Carolina is getting dominated today, and friends, the folks in Conway deserve better than this. No excuse ever for this kind of a clunker. They're trailing by 14 to Old Dominion. Just another week of football in the Sun Belt, guys, where we've come to expect the unexpected.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
Well, and here's the problem offensively. Because you're trailing by so much so late in the game, the defense now is going to be playing big zone coverages, and they're going to allow you to throw the ball underneath in the middle of the field, rally to make a tackle, and bleed the clock. It's going to be hard now for this offense to claw their way back in this one.
He's going to lose a yard on that one. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Somebody needs to make a play here. It's 3rd and long from the 26. Taylor wants to throw it. Looking deep. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on 4th down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on 4th down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
Hit as he throws, and the ball goes right to the ground, incomplete.
There's not many play calls on the sheet to score a bunch of points really quickly, so you got to go for it here. I like the aggressiveness, but this offense continues to miss the mark, and they just got to score more points. They got to do better, right, Palmer? That's expert analysis. They got to do better.
Time for this Sooner offense to go back to work. They want that clock to run. What powerful running, just driving the pile forward for everything he could get. He'll be just a few inches short.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
I mean, getting suffocated right away. How about the DB? Just seeing that initially, pulling the trigger, getting to him, get him on the ground, get the tackle for a loss.
The Sooners really need to keep this drive alive on 3rd down. Looking to throw for it. Throws to the wideout. Can't make the grab on 3rd down, and that is a rare drop for this guy.
And I'm not surprised they're letting him throw the football down here near the end zone. Like, that dude's been really, really good, and you can trust him. They trust him in this offense. Great job by this defense playing the pass, breaking on the football, and making sure he doesn't get another touchdown.
Hauls it in, the 1st down and more. Touchdown, Oklahoma! Hauled that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. As they push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the Oak.
And good work by the coverage team to knock down the return man. motion from the wideout. Out of the chute, quick toss to the right.
Love the decision-making by the quarterback there on the RPO play. Defense took everything away deep down the field, so just check it down, get it to your guy in the right flat, let him go get yards.
And now on second down for this offense. On the move, it's Booth. He's past the 30. Out to the 35-yard line and a little extra breathing room with that 15-yard pickup.
I think it's just too little too late, David, at this point. That's a play that they could have used a lot earlier in this game, but because of miscues, they're down by a lot late, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to claw back into this.
Yeah, I'm fine with you.
Intercepted. Man, they just can't get anything going. Didn't really get a chance to get started on that return, but he has set him up at the 41-yard line.
Man, this defense did a perfect job understanding the situation. You know you got the lead. You know they're going to be passing, and you come after the quarterback, get the big hit. You get pressure on the quarterback, good things happen, and they make the big INT.
Back to throw, it's Mateer. Fires to the middle. Wide open downfield. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
I love that play call, and quarterbacks are always licking their chops after their defense gets a takeaway because they know now, hey, I got a sudden change situation. I've got a chance to take a shot and pad my stats.
Looking to throw on first down. Here comes the heat. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
Well, great job making the tackle there. Now setting up third down in your own red zone. This is a stop you have to come up with. You want to give up field goals in this area of the field, not touchdowns.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal.
Here we go. 221 wing.
Goes to the option. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
Points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
Mississippi State, 14.
On the move from inside his 5. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive.
Take over. 1st and 10.
Opening play of this drive comes from the 13-yard line. Taylor wants to throw. On the run, fires downfield. And he was looking over the middle and couldn't make the connection.
Well, at this point, you're still trying to throw stuff up against the blackboard and see if it sticks. You're down by a lot of points, so why not try it, right? And give the offense credit. You know, you're not just going to run the football. You're not just going to take a knee and go into the locker room with your tail between your legs. I like the fighting spirit, just not enough of that today.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this offense, man, they just continue to struggle. And just they need to find something that they do really, really well. And running the football late in the 4th quarter when you're getting beat by a good bit, that's probably not it. This offense needs to hit the gas, and they need to pitch and catch a little bit, throw the football.
Intercepted, and the defense has set him up.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. 4th quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
Here comes the Oklahoma offense. With this big cushion they're working with, Jesse, they're ready to send these fans toward the exits.
And you know the coaching staff has got to be so happy with how this offense has been able to come out here on the road, fight the crowd noise, and execute at such a high level, Dave.
Yeah, just dominate the football game. And now, listen, it's mode where I can run the football, run out the clock, watch this game go to zeros and get the dub.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. And they don't want to waste this great field position here on 3rd and long. Pulls and fired complete. Turning on the Jets. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a 1st and goal.
And that's a great lesson for young quarterbacks out there. You don't have to force every football deep down the field. I know it's 3rd and long, and that play definitely is designated to go to a wide receiver somewhere, but hey, check it down to your running backs. These guys are great athletes, and they can make good things happen when you give them the ball in space.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. You know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board, figure some things out, because this wasn't a great day.
Big time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
How do you not love to see that when your cornerback gets in the run fit, when he's not scared to come up and tackle? A lot of those guys, they can be prima donnas. They don't want to tackle. Nice job seeing it. And as soon as that thing's pitched, you could tell, man, he pulls the trigger.
To the end zone and is picked off. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
Obviously, this game hasn't gone the way they would have liked, but coaches are always looking for positive moments and things that you can build on. How about that young man going out, getting an interception? Yeah, they're being blown out. They're probably not going to win this football game, but that is the type of play that as a coaching staff you can build on for next week's game.
They'll snap it from the 20 for the opening play of this drive. They'll run the toss. Fighting off the defender. And he fights his way forward, gets away from one, but not much doing on that one.
Yeah, and this offense, man, it's been a struggle bus. And they haven't clicked yet. They haven't found what they're really, really good at. And I'll tell you this, it's later, it's in the 4th quarter, later in the game, obviously. They need to start airing this thing out. We got to get back in this football game because I don't know if y'all realize this, but we're down by a lot.
That will be the final play as they make the stop, and the clock has expired here. When you know you have a team outclassed, the ability to play to that standard and finish with a blowout like this is really impressive.
And it's almost like playing against yourself, right? You know you're better. You know you're going to win the football game, but how do I continue to still execute? This was so easy, great execution, just beat down in every facet.
And I think as a player, you just love being in such great rhythm, and we saw that right from the get-go in this game. Offense just able to matriculate the ball down the field. Defense was not giving anything up. What a great game plan coming in, and this was just total domination.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.